Dr. Laura Dabney talking this month about how not to raise a sociopath or narcissist. And this week I want to talk to you about you and your emotional well-being. Because what happens is I have parents who come in and are sort of overly concerned or continue to be concerned about their teenager not being perfect, despite being told by others that they're doing well, despite being told by therapists sometimes their teenagers are normal. They continue to worry about their emotional well-being. Well, we call this a defense. Sometimes people get wrapped up in other people's issues, problems, or concerns as a way to avoid something going on within themselves, typically an emotional issue. Let me give you an example. So if you are having trouble grieving the loss of your baby, which is what a teenager kind of highlights for you, that child that you had is no longer around, it does set up grief within us. And grief involves sadness and anger. A lot of people have trouble with these emotions, and if you're one of them, then you will be delaying going through that grief by getting overly wrapped up in the details of your child. Of course, this isn't good for your relationship with your child and can set your child up to have emotional or relationship problems as well. So think about that. That typically happens in people who were raised in families who did not deal with grief well. Okay, what's another reason why somebody may be overly wrapped up in their child's well-being concern at the expense of their emotional well-being? And that is if your primary relationship with your significant other or your spouse, if that's damaged, there may be a way you're unconsciously avoiding that by getting wrapped up in what your child is doing, okay? So I typically see this when there was a problem in the relationship perhaps before the children, and then the children became this great distraction. And especially if you're on the same page with your husband or your spouse on how to raise the children, it's like this, finally you're having a shared experience, and when that ends, this then falls apart or hasn't really gotten any better. So it may be that you're having a problem with your spouse and that you need to address, because of course, again, if you're using your kids to fix something between you, that's certainly not going to work. The other problem you may be doing is turning emotions on yourself. That's another way that people who can't express their emotions well will sometimes turn them on themselves. So this chronic worrying or being overly concerned, we all are concerned about our kids, but if it goes on to the point where you aren't doing your normal activities or engaging with people in a normal way, then it may be a way you're turning your anger, sadness at your child growing up and leaving you into, oh, I'm so horrible for thinking that, so I deserve to be punished. And I don't deserve to go out or be with people, I don't deserve to be happy, etc. Okay? So if all signs are pointing to your child is normal and you're still having these concerns that aren't really valid or chronic, going on and on and on, it may be that you are having trouble dealing with grief, maybe something you just don't want to deal with. It may be that you are having trouble with your significant other, or it may be that you're turning the emotions on yourself. These are all things you can get help with. These are fixable. So if you need any help, if that doesn't help you and you need further help, please call us 757-340-8800.